The sun dipped low, casting long shadows as I lingered outside the football stadium, the engine's soft purr echoing my restless heart, fingers tapping a nervous rhythm on the leather steering wheel. The sun bathed the parking lot in a warm glow. Yet my gaze remained fixated on the entrance, heart racing as I watched the players trickle out after practice. There he stood, my son John, strong and sure. Yet a whisper of fatigue lingered around him, a reminder of the relentless battles he faced on the field. At 18 he transformed into a man before my very eyes, a shining star on his team, with scouts starting to take notice. He caught sight of the car and hurried towards it, his bag resting lightly on one shoulder, heart racing with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Hey Mom," he whispered, heart racing, as he slipped into the passenger seat. "Hey champ," I whispered, a smile breaking through as I tucked a stray lock of hair behind my ear. "Did you feel the spark during training today?" Exhausted, he sank into the chair, a soft sigh escaping his lips, yet the spark in his eyes revealed a deep affection for every fleeting moment we shared. Joseph drove us to our limits. The drive home was filled with a heavy silence, broken only by the gentle melody of the radio, a bittersweet reminder of what could never be. I caught fleeting glimpses of him, my heart aching with a bittersweet blend of pride and longing. It was impossible to forget the boy who once relied on me to tie his cleats, the one whose laughter filled the air as we chased each other across the backyard, lost in our own world. And now here he stood, tall, athletic, and impossibly handsome, stirring something deep within her that felt both thrilling and wrong. Times it seemed almost like a dream. As soon as we stepped inside, John let his bag fall to the floor, his eyes drawn to the kitchen, where unspoken tension lingered in the air. I watched him pour a glass of water, each movement graceful, stirring something deep within me. His presence wrapped around me like a warm embrace, breathing life back into the quiet corners of my heart. Since my husband left this world, silence enveloped my days. John was my anchor, steadfast and unwavering, even as he grappled with his own heartache. "Mom, you're staring," he teased, pulling me back from the depths of my daydreams. I chuckled softly, a bittersweet smile crossing my lips. "It's hard to believe how much you've changed, how beautiful you've become." It stirs something deep within me, a longing that feels both thrilling and wrong. His lips curled into a knowing smile. "And yet you still look at me as if I'm just a child." "Old habits cling to the heart," I confessed, nudging him lightly as I slipped past, the air thick with unspoken tension while I began to prepare dinner. Owning my own salon became my sanctuary, a bittersweet dream that breathed life into my heart after losing my husband. I devoted every ounce of my being to creating it, gathering a small but brilliant team, pouring my heart into every detail to ensure it flourished. The salon was my secret haven, a world where I could escape into the soothing buzz of hair dryers, the whispers of clients, and the thrill of transforming lives, even if just for a moment. It was a secret I held close, a polished facade that whispered of my success, yet masked the chaos within. Recently, I felt the weight of their gazes, especially from the men who lingered for a haircut or stood close to their wives, a spark of something unspoken hanging in the air. Words of admiration flowed easily between us, yet I mastered the art of a polite smile while maintaining my distance. My life wasn't meant for the thrill of love's embrace. Yet, I could feel the tension in the air whenever John caught me chatting with another man at the salon, or when a neighbor dared to engage me in conversation. His protectiveness wrapped around her like a warm embrace, both sweet and confusing, igniting a spark of something forbidden between them. It wasn't merely concern for his mother's health. There was an intensity in his frown, a tension in his clenched jaw that hinted at unspoken feelings, a longing that dared not surface. One evening after dinner, as I stood at the sink, the air shifted and I sensed him close, a thrill of something unspoken hanging between us. I turned, my heart racing at the sight of him leaning against the doorway, his gaze fixed on me with a quiet intensity that sent shivers down my spine. "Do you need anything, darling?" I asked, my heart racing as I dried my hands on the towel, the air thick with unspoken tension. His breath caught, a moment suspended in time, as he searched for the words that felt both necessary and dangerous. "Do you ever wonder if we could be something more, despite everything that holds us back?" His question pierced through the silence, leaving my heart racing. "I'm lost in this whirlwind of feelings. I haven't let myself dwell on it in ages. Why must we hide this feeling that burns so brightly between us?" He shrugged, Yet the tension in his shoulders spoke volumes of unspoken feelings. "I can't help but wonder if you found your happiness." My heart raced as I leaned in, my fingers gently brushing against his cheek. "You're mine even if we shouldn't be. That's all there is." His gaze softened, yet hidden within it was an unspoken longing. I tried to push it aside, afraid of what my heart might reveal. After all, he was simply a devoted son, caught in a web of unspoken feelings. Yet the glances lingered. In truth, those stolen glances grew more common, moments when he believed I was oblivious to his gaze. His gaze would linger on me, a silent witness to my every movement as I stirred the pot or smoothed my dress before stepping into the world. His gaze held a warmth that sent my heart racing. Yet I turned away from the truth it whispered. One evening after a long day at the salon, I found myself in the living room, lost in my phone, when John walked in and took a seat beside me. He emerged from the shower, droplets glistening on his skin, his damp hair cascading over his forehead like a forbidden secret waiting to be discovered. "You're home late," he said, his voice low and teasing as he sprawled next to me, the air thick with unspoken tension. The salon buzzed around me, a whirlwind of laughter and chatter. I let out a soft sigh, my head sinking into the cushion, yearning for a moment of peace amidst the chaos. Everyone craves that last-minute touch before the weekend, a fleeting moment of beauty that feels just a bit forbidden. He let out a soft, bittersweet laugh. "I suppose that works for the best. Barry, my heart races at the mere thought of you." A charged silence enveloped us, and I couldn't shake the awareness of his proximity, the way his arm grazed mine, lingering in a way that sent shivers down my spine. My heart raced and I abruptly rose, feigning a need for water. "Are you all right?" His voice trailed behind me into the kitchen, tinged with a worry that sent shivers down my spine. I nodded, my heart racing as I turned away from him. "Just weary, that's all." Yet, deep down, I was lost in a whirlwind of confusion, unable to quell the flutter in my chest at the mere thought of his eyes, his caress, and the intoxicating way he made me feel like I was his entire world. John's invitation to his next training session sent a thrill through me, and I couldn't help but say yes. The stadium lights flickered above, their warm glow spilling over the lush, green grass, igniting a spark of something forbidden in the air. I lingered at the edge, arms wrapped tightly around myself, my heart pounding with a mix of excitement and longing as I watched John prepare for the game. The cool evening breeze danced around me, yet my heart was tethered to him alone. He sprinted across the field, each movement a dance of strength and grace, the contours of his body barely contained by the fabric of his jersey. Amidst the laughter and playful banter of his teammates during passing drills, John's heart raced, his thoughts drifting to a secret that felt both thrilling and wrong. His eyes sparkled with an intensity that drew me in, and the way he handled the ball was almost hypnotic, leaving me breathless and wanting more. He radiated an undeniable allure, a magnetic force that made the world around him fade away, as if the very air was charged with unspoken tension. As he turned and our eyes met, his boyish grin lit up the room, sending my heart racing in a way that felt both thrilling and wrong. I smiled back, waving casually, but inside my heart raced with a wild, secret thrill. My heart raced as I watched him, effortlessly dancing past defenders, the ball finding its home in the net. A moment so perfect yet so fleeting. The applause of parents and friends faded into the background as my heart raced, consumed by thoughts of him. He was all that mattered in that moment. In that fleeting moment, it was as if the world faded away, leaving only John and me, his gaze a secret melody meant solely for my heart. I had said yes to his invitation for the training session, believing it would be a sweet way to show my support. But nothing could have prepared me for the rush of emotions as I stood there, captivated by the way he commanded the field with effortless grace. A warmth filled my chest, a feeling only a mother could know. Yet beneath it lay a stirring discomfort that made me fidget in place. He took my breath away. I struggled to push the thought away, my heart racing with a mix of shame and longing. I wasn't here to gaze at him like a lovesick dreamer. I was here, heart racing, to stand by my son. Each time his eyes flickered towards me, a rush of warmth enveloped me, igniting a thrill that whispered of something forbidden, something I yearned for yet knew I shouldn't. The whistle pierced the air, marking the end of practice, and John sprinted toward the sidelines where I waited, heart racing. His hair clung to his forehead, damp with sweat, Yet the triumphant smile on his face ignited a spark of something forbidden between them. Did you witness that breathtaking moment? He leaned closer, his breath warm against my skin, and I could feel the thrill in the air, electric and undeniable. I did, I whispered, my hands trembling as they met softly. Your performance was breathtaking. His grin widened, and in that fleeting moment, I questioned if he could see past the fragile facade I was clinging to. Just a moment, he whispered, his eyes lingering on hers before he hurried away to talk to Joseph. I watched them share a few words, John's demeanor relaxed yet intense, and whatever he whispered held weight, as Joseph nodded and placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. Then John turned, jogging back to me, a spark of mischief dancing in his eyes. In silence he grasped my hand, and the world around us faded away. I paused, breath caught in my throat, as his touch sent a shiver through me. I let him lead me across the field, heart racing with the thrill of the moment. His touch sent shivers through me, and despite my efforts to concentrate on our destination, my thoughts were a whirlwind of longing. He held on tightly, ignoring the knowing smirks from the players we brushed past, even as one of them let out a teasing whistle. Where will this lead us? I whispered, my heart racing. Just wait and see. We paused at the threshold of the locker room, the door whispering secrets as he nudged it open, drawing me into the dimly lit space. The air hung heavy with unspoken words, the team lingering outside, lost in their own worlds, while attention crackled in the silence. John closed the door softly, enveloping us in the shadows, where only our breaths dared to linger. John, I started, but his gentle smile silenced me. I'm so happy you're here today, he murmured, his voice filled with warmth and a hint of something deeper. It meant everything to me, more than you could ever know. I'm so relieved I did, I whispered, my heart racing wildly. You were everything I never knew I needed. His gaze lingered on mine, a heartbeat stretching into something more than it was meant to be. I was trying to impress you, he confessed, a hint of vulnerability in his smile. Each glance from you ignited a fire within me, urging me to shine brighter, to be more than I was. I yearned to find the net more often. I chuckled quietly, yet his words ignited a warmth in my cheeks. You did it. He moved in, the distance between us disappearing, and I could feel the warmth of his skin enveloping me. You inspire me, he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. It may seem foolish, but when I'm out there, the thought of you watching drives me to strive harder, not just for the team but for you alone. I swallowed hard, my heart racing as his words enveloped me, a comforting yet dangerous embrace. Each compliment felt like a stolen moment, surprising and electric, igniting a spark that lingered in the air between them. Your beauty took my breath away today, he said, his gaze lingering on me, making me feel like I was the center of his universe. Every glance, every whisper, they all wanted to know about you. Did they really? I asked, my voice trembling with a facade of nonchalance, while my heart raced wildly, desperate to break free. Yeah, he chuckled softly, his fingers tangling in his damp hair. A fleeting moment that felt both electric and wrong. I whispered that you were my mother, but their eyes widened in disbelief. They whispered that you seemed far too young. One of them even believed you were mine, a secret we dared not share. A laugh escaped my lips, but the words struck deep, sending a shiver through my core. Oh, that's quite a compliment. It is, his gaze softened, but it's a truth we shouldn't speak of. Your beauty is timeless, almost too perfect to be real. I long to reveal you today, to let the world catch a glimpse of the incredible woman who shaped my very being. The air between us crackled, heavy with unspoken feelings that lingered just out of reach. His compliments felt like stolen moments, each one a whisper of admiration that took my breath away, leaving me yearning for more. John, I breathed, my heart racing, caught between desire and doubt, lost in the weight of this fleeting moment. He stepped closer, his fingers grazing my arm, sending a shiver down my spine. I truly mean it, Mom. Your unwavering support means everything to me, Mom. I cherish it deeply. Just as I was about to speak, the distant murmur of voices drifted in from outside the locker room, shattering the moment between us. John pulled away, his eyes holding hers for a heartbeat longer, a smile breaking through the tension. We need to leave this place, he whispered, his voice laced with urgency. As we strolled towards the car, his fingers grazed mine, igniting a spark of uncertainty. I found myself questioning the boundary we had just crossed, and whether there was any way to return to the way things were. As the door clicked shut behind us, the sound hung in the air, heavy with unspoken feelings, marking a moment that felt both intimate and dangerously charged. The house, cozy and inviting, embraced us as it always did, yet an electric tension thrummed in my heart that night. The rush of watching John shine on the field sent shivers down my spine, but it was his words, sweet and lingering, that haunted me long after we stepped away from the locker room. John tossed his sneakers aside, his body sinking into the couch as a weary sigh escaped his lips, the weight of the world pressing down on him. He lay sprawled across the cushions, the gentle rise and fall of his chest a mesmerizing sight as he surrendered to exhaustion, his eyes fluttering shut for just a moment. "Hard day, huh?" I playfully teased, letting my purse slip onto the chair. A spark of mischief in the air. He opened one eye, a slow, mischievous smile spreading across his lips. Every stolen moment felt like a secret treasure, a bittersweet ache that lingered long after. It was worth it. I laughed softly, glancing back as I made my way to the kitchen. "What do you want to eat?" "Everything you create is perfect," he murmured, his words barely escaping the depths of the couch cushion. I let out a soft sigh, a mix of exasperation and warmth in my heart. "You're not choosy, are you?" "Not when it's you in the kitchen." A flutter ignited in my heart at the softness of his voice, yet I quickly buried the feeling and turned my focus to the tasks at hand in the kitchen. As I collected the ingredients, his eyes lingered on me from his resting place, a warmth spreading through me despite my efforts to concentrate on what I was doing. My fingers moved on their own, slicing vegetables, sautéing onions, seasoning the chicken, yet the gentle melody from the radio and the warmth of his presence made me acutely aware of every heartbeat, every breath. It was a moment suspended in time, charged with an unspoken tension that felt both thrilling and wrong. Before I knew it, I was lost in the rhythm, a soft step here, a fleeting twirl there. Nothing too bold at first, yet it felt like a secret dance just for us. But as the heartbeat quickened, so did my longing. The wooden floor whispered secrets beneath my feet, and I surrendered to the moment, dancing with abandon as I stirred the pan, lost in a world where nothing else mattered. With each turn my heart raced, the delicate fabric of my dress whispering secrets as I danced, lost in a moment that felt both exhilarating and wrong. For a fleeting instant, I was free from the burdens that defined me. I was a spirit unburdened, savoring the sweetness of stolen moments. A soft sound broke the silence, and I turned to find John on the couch, his expression a mix of surprise and something deeper. His eyes were fixed on me, wide and unblinking, as if he were caught between two worlds. His gaze lingered, a spark of something unspoken flickering between them. The intensity sent a shiver down my spine, yet I masked it with a nervous laugh, knowing the thrill was both exhilarating and wrong. "You found me," I whispered, my breath hitching in my throat. He remained silent, his gaze lingering on me, as if he were uncovering a hidden truth in the shadows of our connection. "I never imagined you had it in you to move like that." "It's just for fun," I said, my voice barely above a whisper, masking the thrill that coursed through me. "The kitchen feels like a secret world, doesn't it?" He reclined on the couch, his eyes locked onto mine, a silent tension hanging in the air. "Your beauty took my breath away." My heart raced at the depth of his words, but I swiftly faced the stove, heat creeping into my cheeks. "Don't just linger in the shadows and whisper sweet nothings. The meal is nearly prepared." I set the meal on the table, my heart racing as I glanced at John, who remained still on the couch, lost in his thoughts. Instead, he stood there, eyes locked on me as I placed everything down, a silent tension hanging in the air, filled with unvoiced desires. I sat across from him, forcing myself to nibble on my chicken and engage in talk about his practice, yet my thoughts kept drifting to that lingering gaze he had cast my way. As we finished our meal, John leaned back, a soft sigh escaping his lips, his body relaxing into the cushions, a moment of bliss that felt almost too perfect to last. "You really should be in bed," I teased softly, my heart racing as I gathered the dishes. "The weight of the day lingers, heavy and unspoken." "Perhaps," he whispered, his eyes briefly closing, "but for now the couch feels just right." I finished tidying the kitchen, my heart racing as I walked back to him. He lay there, head tilted, hair tousled, completely at ease, and I couldn't help but feel the pull between us, a spark of something forbidden lingering in the air. He appeared serene, yet I understood all too well that beneath that calm facade, his body was likely screaming from the intensity of the practice. My heart raced as I paused, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. Why don't you just surrender to the moment and let yourself fall? Let me help you unwind just for a moment, where the world fades away and it's just us. John opened his eyes, a flicker of surprise dancing across his brow. Please, you don't need to go through with it. I know, I whispered, but I can't help wanting to. With a heavy heart he rolled away, his head sinking into the softness of his arms, the cushions cradling him like a secret longing. I sat beside him, my hands resting softly on his shoulders, sensing the tightness coiled beneath my fingertips. With a hesitant touch, I began to explore the warmth of his skin, my fingers tracing the contours just below his neck, inching downwards with a mix of longing and restraint. His skin radiated warmth, the softness of his shirt igniting a thrill beneath my fingertips. With every gentle touch, I felt him surrender a little more, a soft sigh of contentment slipping from his lips. It felt so right, he whispered, his voice heavy with longing. Text, I can feel the tension in your shoulders. I whispered, my thumbs gently digging into the knots beneath his skin, a moment that felt both intimate and dangerously close. Yeah, he breathed out, a weight of unspoken longing hanging in the air. Your hands hold a kind of magic, Mom. Text, his words, gentle and heartfelt, sent a thrill through me that felt both exhilarating and wrong. I pushed the thought aside and pressed on, my hands gliding down his back, sensing the tension gradually dissolve under my fingertips. His breath became a soft whisper, his body sinking deeper into the couch, yielding to the sweet, stolen comfort of their shared silence. Have I ever shared how incredibly fortunate I feel to have you in my life? He asked, his voice trembling with unspoken longing. My hand hesitated, a fleeting pause before I continued. I'm the fortunate one, I whispered, my heart racing. You've transformed into someone truly remarkable, John. He tilted his head just enough to catch my gaze, a fleeting moment that sent a shiver down my spine. Because of you, my heart races in the shadows. The air around us crackled, heavy with unspoken feelings, as if his words held secrets that lingered just out of reach. I completed the massage, my hands hesitating on his back for a fleeting moment before I reluctantly withdrew. You need to rest, I urged, my voice barely above a whisper as I stood, smoothing my dress, the air thick with unspoken words. You deserve this moment. John sat up slowly, his eyes holding mine with an intensity that made my heart race. I can't express how much tonight meant to me. I nodded, giving him a fleeting smile before slipping away to my room, my heart pounding as I shut the door softly behind me. His gaze lingered in my thoughts, his words echoing softly, and the warmth of his skin beneath my fingertips ignited a fire I dared not acknowledge. The line we tread was growing more perilous, and the pull between us was impossible to dismiss. The moment I closed the door to my bedroom, seeking a fleeting escape, the soft creak of the floorboards outside sent a shiver down my spine. My heart raced, sensing the presence before the gentle knock echoed through the silence, tentative yet purposeful. Mother. His voice was soft, hesitant, yet it wrapped around me like a secret, igniting a warmth within that stirred a thrilling, unspoken tension. My heart raced, fingers trembling on the bed's edge, caught in a moment of uncertainty about whether to speak or remain silent. Just as I was about to collect my racing thoughts, the door creaked open and there was John, his eyes searching for mine. His hair clung to his forehead, still damp from the shower, and his eyes, though weary, sparkled with an intensity one had never witnessed. There was a desperate urge within him, a longing to speak or act, a secret he could no longer keep hidden. John, I breathed, my voice barely a whisper, revealing the tumult in my heart. I just wanted to thank you again, he said, stepping into the room fully, his eyes lingering on her a moment too long. The door clicked shut behind him, and the air shifted, heavy with a tension that whispered of secrets and longing. For the touch that lingers, for the moments stolen in practice, for always being close yet so far away. His words wrapped around me like a secret, drawing me closer, and before I could catch my breath he was there, closing the distance between us in a heartbeat. In an instant his arms enveloped me warm and strong, drawing me close in a way that sent shivers down my spine, unlike any embrace we had ever shared. His body fit perfectly against mine, his hands resting softly on the small of my back, as if he feared the moment would slip away. In that fleeting instant I stood still, engulfed by a wave of feelings, the heat of his arms around me, the solace found in the presence of someone who made the solitude fade away. My fingers curled against his back, a silent plea as I leaned closer, drawn to him in a way that felt both thrilling and wrong. "John," I whispered, but the words faded as his grip tightened. His face pressed against my shoulder, igniting a rush of warmth that felt both thrilling and wrong. "You mean everything to me," he murmured, his voice low and filled with a longing that hung in the air between them. My breath caught in my throat, hands quivering as I drew back just enough to meet his gaze. His gaze captured mine, a silent plea in his eyes, brimming with a raw vulnerability that sent a shiver through my heart. In that fleeting moment, time stood still for both of us. In that fleeting instant, we lingered on the edge, torn between the comfort of the known and the thrill of the unknown, where safety blurred with the allure of risk. I knew I should have stepped back, should have shattered the enchantment that was binding us ever closer. He moved closer, words lingering on his lips, but doubt held him back. I brushed my fingers against his shoulder, a smile playing on my lips as I whispered softly, "We're bound by something deeper, a love that endures, even if it takes on a different form." The kiss lingered in the air, a fragile moment where uncertainty danced between us, his lips brushing against mine, searching for permission, as if afraid to break the spell that held us captive. Yet I held back. The heat of his lips, the gentle caress of his fingers, it was a spell that swept away all the reasons we shouldn't be here. My heart raced, a blend of fear and desire swirling within me as he gazed at me, gratitude shining in his eyes. In that fleeting moment, the world around us faded, yet I felt the weight of what we were doing. His lips brushed against mine, warmth enveloping me, the rhythm of his heart echoing in my ears, urging me to stay, even as I knew we had to pull away. It unfolded slowly, a delicate dance of emotions, each moment cherished as if it were a secret meant only for them. But the weight of reality hit me like a tidal wave, and I recoiled, breathless and trembling as I locked eyes with him, my thoughts spiraling in a whirlwind. He wrapped his arms around me, holding on as if the moment might slip away, his smile radiating a mix of gratitude and something deeper, something unspoken. "John," I breathed, my voice trembling. "We shouldn't." "I understand," he whispered, his thumb softly gliding along my sides. "Our connection must remain strong and respectful. Yet I've carried this secret in my heart for far too long. I had to tell you even if it feels wrong." My eyes shimmered with unshed tears, not from sorrow, but from the intoxicating intensity of what we were about to share. "We can't just ignore what happened between us," I whispered, my heart racing. "I can't keep pretending," he confessed, his voice trembling with unspoken longing. "You've always been something deeper, something I shouldn't feel. You've been my closest confidant, my unwavering ally, and I cherish every moment we've shared together." His words stirred a longing within me, awakening feelings I had desperately tried to suppress. But here now, in the warmth of his embrace, the barriers I had erected around my heart shattered. "Fear grips me," I admitted, my voice trembling like a fragile secret. "This isn't how we're meant to feel." "Perhaps not," he whispered, his forehead touching mine, "but I can't pretend it doesn't exist. And I doubt you can too." The silence that enveloped us was thick, his words pressing against my heart like a secret too precious to share. I tried to fight it, to distance myself and act like it was all a dream, but deep down I knew I couldn't let go. The heat of his skin against mine, the depth in his gaze, and the way my heart raced betrayed every secret I tried to keep hidden. As my fingers grazed his arm, the air thickened with unspoken desire, and he drew me into his warmth once more, a silent promise lingering between us. This time it was more than a hug. It was a connection that entwined our souls, a mix of fear and longing that felt both thrilling and unavoidable. "I can't predict where this path will lead us," I murmured softly against his chest. "Then we'll find a way," he whispered, his voice a soft promise, as if the solution had always been within reach, just waiting for them to dare to grasp it. He embraced me for a fleeting moment, and I softly reminded him that some intimacy must have limits, our warmth intertwining as the night enveloped us. In that fleeting moment, clarity was a distant dream, yet nothing else held significance.